Thank you so much for joining us here at KEXP. We are listener-powered radio at 90.3 FM in Seattle, 92.7 FM in the Bay Area, streaming worldwide at kexp.org, also on the KEXP mobile app. I'm Cheryl Waters. I'm here in the KEXP studios in Seattle with Naima Bock. Welcome back.
Hello, thanks for having me back.
It is so wonderful to see you. Last time you were here, the session was absolutely gorgeous. You were just solo, and you've gone the total other way and brought us a room full of talented musicians.
Yeah, they are all talented.
Below a Massive Dark Land is your newest album, out soon on Sub Pop Records, and I'm so excited to hear these songs live.
Thank you.
Naima Bock, live on KEXP.
Falling between my sheets and
'Cause I'd rather show him light than this world. I see through my eyes.
You're listening to Naima Bock live on KEXP, the beautiful new album Below a Massive Dark Land, coming out on Sub Pop Records September 27th. We're so delighted to have Naima Bock returning to the KEXP studios with this wonderful band. They are playing a plethora of instruments. They're all scurrying around the studio as I speak, hopping on a new instrument. I love it.
Has to happen.
Naima, I heard that song, Feed My Release, was one that at one point you thought was maybe not initially worth recording. It's so beautiful.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that song, it really changed with the harmonies that came in, that Oliver Hamilton and Holly Whitaker, who were with me last time, actually. Them two came up with the harmonies for that song, and then I felt like it was worth recording.
It was beautiful to hear everyone singing along on that one. It's such a pleasure to have you here today. What have you got coming up next?
After this.
I mean, the next song.
Oh, the song. I thought you meant in life. Like,
we can get to that if you'd like.
Oh, God, I'd rather not think about that. Next, we've got Kaley. Yes. Are we ready? We'll do some tuning first. Yeah? Cool.
That's Naima Bock live on KEXP.
So we've got one more song left. This song's called Takes One, and it's on the new album as well. And it's mostly me, but these guys are gonna bless us with their beautiful voices. And you pushed me away as summer came to fall, 'cause I opened my arms and let go of my soul. But if it takes one to know one, then thank God I don't know you at all. If it takes one to know one, it takes two. And you pushed me away, you let me go. You left me out here to walk in the snow. But if you took me away, I'd let go of it all. If you Someday you'll find another one. Someday you'll find. 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 Someday another one. Someday you'll find. Someday you'll find another one. Someday you'll find. Can't you see it was never only me? I have been undone. Someday you'll find another love. Someday you'll find. Someday you'll find another love.
So beautiful. That song sounds so timeless. We're live here in the KEXP studios with Naima Bock. That was gorgeous. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Naima, you started today's session with the song Gentle, which opens your new album, Below a Massive Dark Land. And you've said that it's one of your favorite songs to play and one of your favorite songs that you have ever written. And it is an absolute stunner. Tell me about that song and what you love about it so much.
I feel like it might be one of the songs of mine that I get the most kind of catharsis out of, maybe, while I play it. And it just doesn't, there's something, I guess everyone has the thing where they get a little bit, I don't think bored or sick of are the right words, but, you know, they've played their own songs enough times. But that one seems to always bring something new to it every time I play it, which is nice. And also changing the setup and playing with different people, you know, always helps.
With this big band, there's a surprise around every corner with that song.
Yeah.
It's lovely. Well, you started writing your new album. I understand living in your grandmother's shed in South London, and it was just you, a guitar, and a violin. And that's a little bit of a shift in how you started writing your last album, which was a collaborative effort. And you said that you love writing, and I'm just wondering how it felt to start creating this new record, what your thoughts were about what you wanted to do and how it felt embarking on that by yourself.
Yeah, I felt like it was nice because I managed to block out in my mind the idea of a second record, and so I kind of because I was still doing university as well, and I just thought I compartmentalized that part of being self-aware about whether it's going to be good or not, and I had a nice, I think, 2 years of being able to write. Partly, I think I lived in my grandma's shed for 8 months of that or something. And I wrote a lot of the songs there because it was detached from any house, so I wasn't worried about how loud things were. It meant that I could play, a start of violin is obviously a difficult thing for people to listen to as well. So it meant I could play a lot of violin and sing really loudly without without worrying about it too much. So that helped. But in terms of writing, it always comes in spurts. I'll write really intensely for a couple of months, and then I just won't feel like writing anything for ages, And it's more like a soaking in time. I guess I'll read books and listen to loads of music, and yeah.
It's interesting that the violin is an instrument that helps you begin the songs. I know that you've recently, in the last few years, been teaching yourself to play. It's not an easy instrument to master, I would imagine. What is it that drew you to the violin, and what about it sparks your creativity?
Well, okay, so I would I would be cautioned to say that I haven't really continued with it. So at the beginning of the writing of this album, I was getting violin lessons from Oliver Hamilton, and it was towards the end of lockdown, and so we were quite happy to be seeing another human being every week, and so I was getting lessons from him, and then it helped just being able to play very basic violin meant that I could come up with these melodies that I wouldn't have thought of with singing or with guitar or whatever else, and so it was really good for writing in that sense. It just gave me, I guess it's the novelty of a new instrument. And then once I started playing shows and things, I decided I would like to give myself some, I think I felt a bit guilty about stopping playing violin, but Ollie, who I play with, is such a good violin player, so I have him play it. And then I just wanted to get better and better at guitar as well. But it definitely helped with writing some of the arrangements on the record.
And it was a good opportunity to practice a new instrument that you were trying to learn.
Yeah, exactly.
Did double duty there.
Yeah.
Well, there's a wonderful collection of instruments, speaking of instruments and arrangements on this new album, Below a Massive Darkland, of course, guitar, piano, drums, and bass, but there's saxophone, harmonium, and an expansive choir, and also a horn section. And your songs are beautifully performed solo or with a duo or trio or with this beautiful band that you take with you on stage or have in the studio. But I still feel like no matter how many people are playing, your songs always sound so intimate, which is an interesting thing when you're playing. There's 6 of you here today with a big sound, yet the song sounds so intimate. And is it a very collaborative effort in the studio? I mean, how are you crafting these songs? What is that time in the studio like? And what do the people who help you put this together, including the musicians, bring to that?
Loads. They bring loads. Well, Jack Ogborne, who's here on the piano, produced the record. And so a lot of the studio, in terms of being in the studio and then kind of choosing what instruments would come in, was a collaborative effort with me, Jack, Joe Jones as well, who produced and engineered it, and also Oliver Hamilton. And I feel like we as a group decided, because I think a lot of the writing was solitary, but then when it came to recording, it was definitely more of a group effort. And we had a pretty strict plan and knew what was going to happen before, the musicians came in, so they didn't come in and then had to waste loads of time and come up with parts and stuff. So we had the things laid out. But I feel like everyone that played on the record brought their own, we kind of chose the people to play on it because we liked the way they played, and we liked the touch that they gave it, and they really did give that. And the choir is always really fun because it's a good opportunity to get all my friends together, which is nice.
Well, speaking of a choir, when you made your first record, you hadn't sung much live. And of course, now you've been out on the road for many years touring. And how has that experience impacted your confidence and your ability as a performer?
It's definitely helped it. I would say that it changes from show to show. I think that confidence is a funny thing. I've talked to a lot of singers and songwriters about confidence. It's interesting. It changes from show to show. But I would say that my level of nerves seems to have stayed exactly the same after quite a few years of touring. I guess touring on my own has been more of a learning curve, but it's helped me with singing for sure. Yeah.
Well, you've lived a pretty nomadic life growing up in different places in Brazil and Greece and in London. And it sounds like that you love to spend time traveling and on the road. And I've read interviews where you talk about to make that sort of a manageable and enjoyable thing that you've created these artistic spaces and found this community in the places you've gone. Can you talk a little bit about how you've made touring something that fits in your life that isn't something that you can think of as a grind, but something you can enjoy?
I think being as, it sounds a bit boring, but being as healthy as I can whilst doing it. That's not to say that I managed to keep that up all the time, but there's some kind of finding routine regardless of sleeping in different beds every night helps. And also I have always have a little thing on the bedside table, like next to the bed that's just one thing that's constant, it's a little statue. You just keep that constantly moving around, and then that also helps. But I think that it's something that it always feels maybe difficult at first, and then there's just this like a way of kind of getting used to it, I guess, as you accept it, and there's a feeling of home, like wherever you go, and there's always people around to help as well. And I found that very helpful, because staying at people's houses, because it's, it saves with money and how expensive touring is and everything. So I end up staying at people's houses, and then I end up making these friends. And so that's kind of how there's been this network of people in Europe and in America as well that I've been able to stay with, and it's nicer to stay in a home, someone else's home. And so now I say thank you to all of them, because they really helped.
Well, thank you to you and your band for coming by today. It is such a pleasure to hear these songs from the new album, Below a Massive Dark Land, and that's out on Sub Pop Records soon. Mm-hmm. Thank you again so much for coming by today.
Thank you. Can I do a quick introduction to the band? I just want to say to Jack's band, Bingo Fury, are great, and also these guys' band's called Mildred, and they're amazing. And thank you so much to them for joining me today, because we really pulled it together in the space of a week, and they've smashed it. So
you absolutely did smash it. It sounds like you've been playing together for a very long time. Thank you so much. Naima Bock live here in the KEXP studios. Thanks to all of our wonderful listeners and viewers for supporting great sessions like this. You can learn more about us at kexp.org. We're listener-powered. Make a gift anytime in support of listener-powered radio. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You get notification every time a new video launches. And again, a big thank you to Naima Bock.
Thank you very much, Cheryl. Thank you.
Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.